everybody, and welcome to our demonstration on how to use Advanced Find to create list views in Dynamics 365. My name is Tom Duwe, Corporate Technical Trainer at Topline Results. In today's training, we will go over how to create a list view of accounts that have an active case associated with them inside of the Advanced Find feature in Dynamics 365. To begin, if you have not navigated to this window, to get to this Advanced Find window, all you have to do is select the little funnel icon at the top right corner of the screen. From here, you'll open up this Advanced Find window where we can now create our query to find our accounts associated with an active case. So to begin, let's go ahead and change this Look For drop-down option to Accounts. I've already done so, but if you go ahead and click on the drop-down and navigate to Accounts, this will bring you to our menu. Now, what we'd also like to do is I'd like to look up accounts linked to those active cases. To do this, we're going to select the Select option here, and I'm going to navigate down. You continue to scroll here. We're going to notice the Related section. And from here, I'm going to locate cases based on the customer. Once I select that, you're going to notice it brings up this blue bar. This is a cross-table relationship and allows us to do queries on other tables. So I'm also going to keep this option of contains data here because we want to make sure that a case is related to the account. Now next, what I'd like to do is I'd like to add an additional query to this. So again, I want to look at active cases. So to do this in the Select option, I'm going to locate the Status field by locating Status here. I'm going to keep the Center option as equals. We do have the ability to change this based on different criteria in different fields. Then finally, I'm going to select the ellipsis button here, and I'm going to select the active option. To move it to the selected values area, all I have to do is either double click on active or click the double arrows, and that'll move it to the selected values. I will hit OK to select this option. From here, what we need to do now is, since we're happy with the query that we have, we either need to, one, hit the Save button to save the record or Save As. Let's go ahead and select Save here, and I'm going to name this view as Accounts with Active Cases. Now you can type in a description if you would like of what this view is about. I'm going to go ahead and hit the Save button. Now once we've saved this view, you're going to notice that it saves it to that view called Accounts with Active Cases in this little drop-down list. Now to preview our results, selecting the Results button is going to bring back a list of records that match our criteria. Now from here, I have the ability to do a couple additional items, including editing the columns that are shared inside of this view and also sharing this view with other users. To edit columns, right from this little window that we're currently in, I'm going to select the Edit Columns option. Doing this brings up the current columns that are in our view. From here, we can change the size of the columns, what order they're in, and then also add and remove columns as well. First off, let's talk about how we change the columns that are currently in the view. For instance, let's say I want to put main phone in front of our primary contact. All I have to do to move the columns around is click on the column I'd like to move, and using these arrows in the Common Task section, I can move them around where I need them to be. If I'd also like to make the column larger, if I double click on it here, you're going to notice there's a select the width for this column. The larger the pixel size, the larger the column is going to be. So if I want to make this 150 pixels, which will make it just a little bigger, I click on it and hit OK, and that adjusts the column size. Now if I'd like to add additional columns to this view, if I select the Add Columns option, that's going to bring up the ability to see all the different columns, including the related records that are associated to this account. Now from here, I can select different types of records, including that account. If I come down, I'll also see there's territories. Also, if it came from a lead, I have the ability to add those additional fields. For my purposes, all I want to do is add the address to this view. So I'm going to go ahead and select Address 1, and I'm going to hit OK. Doing that, if I scroll over to the right, you're going to notice that it's added our Address 1 field to our view. From here, if I need to make it larger, again, I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to select 200 pixels and I'm going to hit OK. Once I'm happy with everything that I have in this Edit Columns view, I'm going to click OK. Now again, we can preview the results just by clicking on the Results button here. And you're going to see that it's put in our address into this view as well. Now finally, the last thing we need to do with this view is be able to share it. So first things first, before I share it, I'm going to save it one more time just to make sure that it's updated. And now I'm going to select the Saved Views buttons. So once we do that, you're going to see there is our view that we just created. Now, right now, since we're creating this personal view, the only person that's able to access this is you. So if you want to share this with other colleagues in your system, what we need to do is share it. To do so, if you select a little checkbox next to the name of the view that you'd like to share, selecting that, you'll notice that the share button has become available to you. If we click on this, this is where we're able to add users and give them different permissions to this view. So I'm going to go ahead to add that user. We can hit the Add User button. And then from here, you navigate through your list and you locate the user you'd like to use. For instance, I'd like to add Doreen to my view. So I'm going to select her name and hit the Select button. Now, if you don't double click on her name or hit the Select button, they will not show up in the selected records. In order for this to be shared with them, they need to show in the selected records section. Once I'm happy with this, I'm going to go ahead and hit the Add button, and you're going to notice that it adds her to this list. From here, we have the ability to give her different permissions, including read, write, delete, assign, and share permissions. Let's just go ahead and give her read and write permissions. Now, once I'm happy with this, I'm going to go ahead and hit the Share button, and that's going to share the view with Doreen. Once we're done creating our view and sharing it with our additional users, to find that view, if I navigate back to our accounts portion of the Dynamics 365 system, I'm going to come up to the top of the screen here, select our list view selector, and you're going to notice that our view is at the top of the screen. If I select this, this will show us our view.